The logging business had been Rupert McKillen's life's work. With 68 years in the field, he had experienced countless challenges and been witness to nature's beauty intertwined with harsh realities. Despite providing for his family for decades, the logging business was a demanding occupation requiring constant attention. Rupert noticed a peculiar lump on the trunk of a 35-year-old tree one sunny morning while inspecting his vast forest. When he examined it closely, a crease of concern appeared on his weathered face. Rupert noticed a lump protruding from its bark. The logging community quickly recognized it as a potential sign of infection. He knew he needed to act immediately. The logger gathered his team and explained the situation to them in a grave tone to them. To prevent the infection from spreading to other healthy trees, his crew chopped down the tree completely. After the massive tree finally succumbed to the loggers' determined efforts, the shocking interior was revealed. It was indeed significant, far more severe than anyone expected, that the infection had spread inside the tree. Rupert's worries had been justified, but there was something more to be discovered. What was the source of the infection? The logging business was a dirty game, and competitors would go to any lengths to secure their stock. Rupert's heart sank as he realized the implications. The infection could have spread to neighboring trees, putting the entire forest at risk. His mind raced with thoughts of how to contain and combat the threat. With urgency in his voice, he called upon his team to gather samples of the infected wood. Days turned into weeks as they diligently worked to analyze the samples, consulting with experts and scientists to determine the nature of the infection. The experts identified the infection as a highly aggressive and rare fungus that had somehow found its way into their forest. The lab experts advised Rupert of the chemicals found in the plant's roots. It was possible that the fertilizer had caused a reaction, but they thought it was something else. With meticulous care, they developed a plan that involved removing infected trees, treating the surrounding soil, and implementing preventive measures to protect the remaining healthy ones. Battling against the relentless infection, the forest echoed with the sound of chainsaws and heavy machinery as the infected trees were felled one by one. Rupert thought that he could find one or two healthy trees, but all of them were even slightly infected. It was all a waste. The clever logger advised his workers to save the best wood. The ones that were not badly infected could be treated and used. He tried to salvage every bit of his crop to his dismay. But amidst the destruction, there was hope. New saplings were planted and measures were taken to restore balance and ensure the forest's vitality. Months turned into years, and the battle against the fungus continued. It was a long and arduous process, but Rupert and his team persevered. The infection slowly receded. It had cost him a lot of extra money. He now had to pay back a loan of $10,000 for the tree treatment and wood care. He was on the brink of bankruptcy. His whole family was helping to try and pay off the loan to save the business. Sometimes Rupert just felt like selling it all and retiring. Rupert had to hire a geological surveyor to assess his land. Every 3 months, he would come in and take samples of the soil and tree bark. His name was Samuel Smith, and he was very good at his job. Samuel stooped down low and scooped up samples of soil. He placed them into his vial. Considering the results from there has been a considerable increase in the chlorine content, he said, peering into a vial. It's the chemical, Mr. McKillen. The chemicals have infiltrated the soil. We need to assess the water, Mr. McKillen. How you water the trees, do you understand? Samuel suggested that they look at the irrigation system. Rupert showed him the system and the tanks. Everything was kept in great condition. It was almost the end of day, and Rupert had a few more errands to run. He excused himself from Samuel's company and walked outside for a breath of fresh air. Rupert looked across the valley and saw something new. It was a huge factory. He wondered how he never saw it before. It must have been hidden by the fog, he said to himself. The factory chimneys were spewing thick black smoke into the sky. Rupert went to his factory early the next day. He had some important investigations of his own to do. He wanted to walk out in the trees today. He touched the tall trees. They were his oldest trees that he never cut. He said that keeping them there brought him good luck. They were the first trees that he planted with his father when he took over the business. Rupert watched as the loggers came to cut down the last of the trees. He advised his men on how to go about their work, as he had something else to do. He peered through the fence over to the other side. His tree farm shared a boundary with the other chemical factory he saw the day before. It was invisible because of the layout of the land. There was a small river separating the two properties. Rupert gasped in disbelief. How could he have been so stupid? Rupert was watching a group of men in hazmat suits. They were doing something. Why so early in the morning? The novice spy managed to get a few good clips of them dumping some liquid from blue barrels in the river. What was that? Chemicals? Poison? Rupert ran back to the worksite as fast as he could. He was out of breath. He tried to call Samuel. The anxious farm owner was getting worried. He left a message. "Sam, I need to show you something. I know who's…" His phone battery died. Rupert tried to focus on the task at hand. He had to wait until his loggers finished this set of trees before they could walk back up to the main factory. The loggers prepared to chop the tree into manageable sections. They noticed something peculiar caught within the exposed roots. Curiosity piqued. To his surprise, he found an ancient object trapped among the gnarled roots. The rusted artifact hinted at a rich history, possibly dating back to the 1700s. Filled with a mixture of awe and curiosity, Rupert carefully secured the ancient object and made his way back home. Rupert's heart skipped a beat. He was cuffed, elated at the unexpected treasure he had stumbled upon. Rupert decided to have it appraised in the local town. The appraiser was a knowledgeable and experienced individual. He examined the relic with a keen eye. He said that the compass was indeed from the 18th century and had historical significance. A mix of emotions swirled within Rupert. He felt a sense of awe at the unexpected journey this ancient compass had taken, hidden within the life of a 35-year-old tree. While Rupert was relishing his newfound discovery, he received a phone call. It was Samuel. "Samuel, I found the source. I'm sure of it. You have to come back to the farm as soon as possible," he begged. Samuel arrived at the farm a few hours later. They arrived at the boundary line just in time for another drop-off. His cell phone fully charged, Rupert recorded the series of events. This time, the truck was parked in the opposite direction so he was able to see the company logo, Parkins Petrochemicals. Samuel was shocked to see the illegal dumping. While Rupert waited for Samuel to hand in the evidence, he became somewhat of a local celebrity. News of the ancient compass quickly spread throughout the community, attracting the attention of local historians and collectors. Over the next few days, Rupert was asked to appear in court. With hard evidence on his side, it was impossible for his opponents to argue. Rupert won his case. The factory was shut down and investigated. Rupert returned to his logging business with renewed vigor, invigorated by the unexpected turn of events. The experience taught him that even in the seemingly mundane world of logging, extraordinary discoveries could be found, reminding him to appreciate the wonders of the natural world that he had dedicated his life to.